Film Club.
Chuetel Ejiofor.
I saw it, I was like, we get to do the name again. Chuetel Ejiofor. Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Film Club. I am one of your hosts, Andy Harrison. To my right, as always, Danny Dalton.
Yo.
Every single week in Film Club, we invite you along to watch a film with us. We sit down, figure out whether or not this film still holds up, explore a little bit of cinema's history. Andy, this week, what have we been watching?
Serenity.
We've been watching Serenity. So Andy, what's Serenity about?
Okay.
That was a question.
It's about a ship that's not piloted. It has a captain, Nathan Fillion, and a crew. And the crew are a bunch of arguably space pirates who like to... It's hard to say, like, what they do. They do stuff beyond the illegal stuff. What's it called? They smugglers, like the smuggle stuff. And
Smuggles.
So they're smuggling a couple of a government wanted girl and her brother who used to work for the government. And it's about them. They've got this like republic that's the center. It's a space film about the center of the galaxy, and it's like them being chased by them and find out secrets as to why this girl's summer is so important. And it's really hard to summarize this film because I only know Firefly, and it's about the almost like the crew surviving. Come to the point where they help go against the republic. That's what Serenity is about. Not what Firefly is about.
What's Firefly about?
Firefly is the TV series, so it's all Joss Whedon.
Whedon.
Firefly is the TV series. Only one season because it got fucking cut after, hence why Serenity is made.
Half a season.
Half a season. And that's literally about the ship and its crew. That's about their relationships. And that's why we love Firefly. So when Serenity comes across, it's still fantastically great, but it needed to be more of a film. It needed to have more of a plot and more of a goal, end goal, as opposed to just being about their relationships and the build-up and that. And it's quite funny when you see like the moments at the end. I'm just going straight into it because if you haven't seen Serenity, go and watch Serenity. I imagine you already will because you're watching this fucking review. But fucking hell, please see Firefly. If you've seen Serenity, you haven't seen Firefly, no offense, but what you're doing.
I have met people that have done that as well. I've met plenty of people who have seen Serenity and never seen Firefly. And obviously amazing. The first thing anyone will ever say to you if you tell them that is, go watch Firefly.
Seriously need to. Because there's some great moments. And the reason Serenity came about, the main reason it seems to be, is Firefly had a massive cult following. And to appease that following, because it got cut by the TV studio, was to make Serenity. Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon decided, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'll get some cash. And did some studio help him out, or did you have to go like crowdfund or anything like that? Or?
No, crowdfunding wasn't really a thing back then.
True, it is quite old, this film.
So yeah, it was funded. It was funded basically off the back of the fact that fans love this, the fact that some people did see the potential in it.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon campaigning for it, the cast campaigning for it as well. And like difficult thing to do. Bear in mind, Joss Whedon's first film as well.
Really?
Yeah. So like he directed TV and stuff. He'd always been a
Buffy,
TV director,
stuff like that.
And it was this film that made him get into feature production.
That's amazing. Because if you think about what he's done now, he's done what, The Avengers?
Yep, that's his second film.
It could be really.
No, he went back to TV after this, and then did Avengers. Avengers 2.
Oh, see,
and then what was the film he did in between
well,
that?
I'll tell you what, I can't remember.
Much Ado About Nothing.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I really want to. It's apparently like he took a bunch of like cast members, like some actors that he knew, like Nathan Fillion, and I think some of the guys from the Marvel films, if I'm right. I can't remember who else is in it. Got this house. I think it's his house. Spent like a couple of days filming, just like to kind of. I guess he's just done this
breaking the ice almost.
Yeah, I think he's just done like this big action film in the Avengers, this huge like big budget thing. So wanting to just brush some of that off and get back to like honing his craft a bit.
Now he's doing the latest Justice League film, the back end of it, because Spike Lee.
Zack Snyder.
I always get them mixed up. Spike Jonze, Spike Lee. No, it's not Spike Lee. It's Dan Lee. Spike Jonze, Zack Snyder. I always get those names wrong. Zack Snyder, unfortunately, is not doing Justice League anymore. So Joss Whedon is doing it. Where was my original point?
Firefly. You're talking about Firefly versus Serenity.
So Firefly is about the ship and the crew. And he's got these amazing moments in it. You see in Serenity, when they're against the Reavers and the bottleneck at the end, there's an amazing moment where, what's the name? What's the mechanic called?
Kaylee.
And Kaylee, like, you know, the doctor's, what's his name? Simon. Simon's going to Kaylee, it's just like, I wish I could spend more time with you. And she's like, sex? You know, true Kaylee. And you don't see much of that in Serenity, but you see loads of it in Firefly.
You mean to say sex?
Yeah. And she goes, stop this.
To say.
No, yeah. That's Kaylee true and true. You don't see much of Morena Baccarin, if I pronounce that properly. Homeland, stuff like that, people have seen her in. Her and Nathan Fillion, Mal's relationship in that film, in Firefly, is huge. And it's for me, the film is so much better when you watch Firefly.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be fascinated to meet those people who went to see us at the cinemas when they've never seen Firefly.
Like, all right, they didn't really do that relationship. Oh, where's this come from and all this? Where's Firefly? It's like, fucking hell, it ties up all loose ends. Not all loose ends, but most loose ends.
It's weird because I don't think I could name you another film which has this sort of duality about it where it's not, as a standalone film, if you haven't seen Firefly, I don't think it's anything special. I don't think...
Serenity, you mean?
No, if you haven't seen Firefly.
Okay.
Then Serenity isn't anything special.
Yes.
Then I don't think you really like it that much. I think people come out and will go, generic sci-fi, whatever. But Firefly is an amazing show. This film's not incredible, but it's a great send-off for the show.
It's an incredible send-off.
It's the ending they never got.
So it really is. And I watched it last night, and I every time I watch this film, I love it. I'm going to have to watch Firefly again now, you know. I'm proper in that mood.
Same thing. This is the first time I've ever seen Serenity without having just watched the series.
Yeah.
So now I just want to go watch the series, just for the intro.
We have to go on about, we're on about the crew, and we're on about how this film's about the family. The film is not necessarily about the family, it's got a plot, but it's got that part about the crew being the family. There is some incredible acting in this.
Yeah, there is.
And Firefly, the reason the acting's amazing is the chemistry is amazing, it's superb. So we have, I shouldn't be going on that, I don't know why I'm going on that.
Why is he going on that?
Nathan Fillion, who is great.
Yep.
Everyone loves Nathan Fillion. I love him because he's in Destiny, Cade 6, yes.
I can't believe you just said you love Nathan Fillion because he's in Destiny.
No, like, what's one of the main reasons? Cade 6 is incredible.
It's one of the main reasons.
You're one of the main reasons.
Remember this, people.
Halo 3, Halo ODST, Halo Reach, and he was in Halo 5, you know, dare say. He's one of the actual guys.
Can we stop talking about Nathan Fillion? It's like
his
game roles.
Yeah, but he's class. And
he's class because of things like Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. He's class because of things like Castle. He's class because of things like Firefly.
You're Firefly.
Thanks, I am Firefly.
He's got, I can't pronounce this, Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk.
Who, he's played many things. Steve the Pirate is probably known for, Quar Steve, great moment at Dodgeball. One I like is, recent one, Rogue One. He is...
Oh, of course. He's the robot in that.
What's the robot called again?
What's it with you in voiceovers?
Fuck off. I like a good voice actor, no, no. And everyone else, right? Everyone else in the crew. I don't have the cast names here. I don't apologise. If you can get Andy up, that'd be class. The antagonist in the film, the agent of the government,
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. How's that for pronunciation? First episode, we struggle with that.
Was it the first episode?
First episode.
What film? It was in The Martian.
The Martian.
So
Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's fantastic as well. He's really good. I really enjoy him. Thoroughly enjoy him as an actor. Again, famous for 12 Years a Slave. We're talking The Martian. The other film he's in, Doctor Strange. Anyway, so you have some great casting, great acting, and it's really nice to see those relationships. Almost, as you said, great send off to the relations characters. Obviously, Wash dying was heartbreaking.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about the deaths and like Joss Whedon's become like,
and Shepard,
it's almost known now for like if he's gonna kill the person you love.
Yeah.
And I actually think he does it very, very well in Serenity though, because he almost sets you up to think it's over when Buck dies. When Buck dies, you kind of go, oh no, but like
there's our death.
There's the death.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in most of the film, so you're a bit like.
But in Firefly, he's huge.
He's huge in the Firefly, but you're a bit more detached. You're like, all right, okay, done. And then the big one. Then Wash dies.
I'm a Leaf in the Wind.
Leaf in the Wind, where he has this amazing like moment beforehand, but then you almost don't get to take it in because just like Zoe, you've got to rush, you've got to go because things are happening, and then because you've had Buck die, because you've had Wash die, because Mal is like almost at the point of like sending the message, and now you've got like Zoe gets hurt, you've got Simon who gets shot, and you start to think
these guys are all going to die.
Is he going to end? Like Serenity, is he going to end Firefly by killing them all. And he genuinely managed to lull everyone into, I think, most people, I assume, into that feeling of like,
on the way, and it's just like,
yeah,
no, you can't do that.
There's a moment in that film, I think, the first time you see it, where you think, oh no, like, genuinely, there are stakes here.
Gina Torres, by the way, did Zoe. It's one of the actors I wanted to name.
Yes, she's good.
Her dynamic and her relationship with Wash, who's her husband in the film, is superb. Also, if you watch Firefly, her relationship with Nathan Fillion, Mal, is absolutely superb. There's always that great moment in that episode, where Wash is a bit like this, and it's because they used to be part of the Resistance together. For those who don't know, it's referenced a few times throughout the film.
Yeah, they've got an amazing dynamic where like they were in this army together, this military force together, and then you've got Alan Tudyk's character Wash, who has now married him, but like it's a difficult triangle to kind of be in. And yeah, she plays that dynamic between everyone really well.
And she always calls Mal sir.
And she has like one of the best written reactions to a partner dying probably ever.
Yeah, one where she just goes forward with a shotgun.
She just has to kind of keep going.
Yeah,
and like there's a bit where Mal goes up to him and he's like, "Are you here?"
Yeah, that's great. Let's move on from acting because we could talk for ages about them. Everyone. The start of the film is brilliant. Is that all one shot?
It's all one shot. Apparently, it's. To be honest, I didn't notice it. There's one hidden cut in there.
It might be where it's coming up through that barrier and it goes black.
Yeah, it's where they're stitching two sets together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But everything else, it's one 4-minute long shot.
And I watched it and I was like, what? Well, it came to about 2 minutes and I've never noticed that about Serenity before. I was like, what? That's incredible. And it's brilliant. You also get to know the character, the ship. That start where the thing goes, what was that? And it goes straight into the film. Yeah. And you're there, you're with Mal, you're with Wash. And that's the whole feel of Firefly, that's Serenity, that's the whole feel of the crew. And it's just like this lovely kind of, in the end, it's a space western.
Exactly. And we would be remiss to not mention that because it's very easy to watch all of Firefly and forget that part of its charm is it's a space western. It's a space western to like the next degree though, because like they're kind of talking in a sort of weird lingo. It's a mashup of like 19th century plus a little bit of futuristic with the whole like
Chinese.
You've got Chinese with the Goramit and like the
it's almost like Chinese, yes, the swear through Chinese, which is brilliant actually. It's quite ingenious if anything. And yeah, it's really good. And there's so much like space western feel to this. You got the handguns like that, and like the best part is the end when he shoots Stuart Ejiofor. He shoots him like that. The great like just gunslinger fucking moments like that. Yep. The whole like smuggling, they're on planets, very dusty planets that have been terraformed to be dusty environments. And one of my favourite things about the whole franchise.
You can call it a franchise. I'll let you.
The whole Firefly Serenity is the fucking music.
The music is so good.
It's got that kind of like that lovely guitar, and yet it's got the Western elements, and yet it's got little spacey parts here and there.
Do you wish they'd used the theme tune at all in this?
Is this theme tune, if I recall, it's been a while, it's singing, isn't it?
Take my love, take my land, take me where
maybe at the end, maybe the credits.
Yep, I would have loved to hear it in the credits, but like such a minor complaint. That's a fanboy complaint.
I forget that, yeah. Do you know what it reminds me of? The music. It's got the very kind of Borderlands to it. Or Borderlands has very Firefly to it.
Yeah.
Or Serenity, both of them. Yeah, seriously. It's got such a good theme running throughout the film. It's hard to talk about this without the fire. I know we're going on about this. Can we just actually focus on Serenity as a film?
Yeah.
Let's literally go on about the plot, the story.
Okay.
We've done this before with stuff like the Marvel and stuff like that.
Yep.
As a film by itself, does it hold up?
No, I think that's what I was saying before with like people who haven't seen this. I think it's a bit paint by numbers. I think it's paint by numbers with some moments of really lovely stuff. Like the false sense, like longing you for a false sense of security that you genuinely think all these people might die at the end. And there's some other little elements in there, like the dialogue is definitely a high point for them. The music is a high point. Also, some of the aesthetic is a high point, but there's something about the plot that I think makes it feel a little bit generic.
Do you reckon that was to do with the studios?
I think it's because he was setting up, in season 1 of Firefly, he was setting up the Reavers as a longer form like storytelling device.
God, you went on about them, yeah.
And in this, I think he knew he had to do the Reavers to wrap up that story. And he does it, I think he does it very well, but it does feel a little rushed. Like it would be great to know a little more over a longer period of time.
Because there is this, in Firefly, there's this huge sense of mystery surrounding the Reavers. In Serenity, you see them a lot more. It was Alex, actually, my mate Alex, who told me about this film. And he described to me this film. He said, it's an amazing film called Serenity, you need to watch it, it's class. They've got these enemies called the Reavers. And when they capture someone, they capture them alive because they like to rape, eat, and kill them, not in that order. Or in that order.
It's Zoe that says, if you're lucky, they'll do it in that order.
Yeah. Basically, they're just sadistic as fuck. And that scene where they're downstairs, the start of the film where the Reavers come across, like, I know I've seen it before, the Reavers are terrifying.
Yeah.
When they're in space floating through, they're fucking terrifying. That light shining on them. Yeah. The fact that the bodies of Bush, Shepard, and all his mates, they literally have to strap them to the ship, put them on fire, because there's no other way. And you just see almost like Mal at the end, he's just losing everything.
Yeah, and the fact that they're used as a weapon at the end, when they go and basically do a pull on the Reavers.
Yeah, they pull the raid boss, don't they?
They do. It reminds me of, do you remember back in the days of WoW, when you'd go and pull like Doomlord Kazzak to Stormwind?
Yeah.
You just keep kiting him.
And you just like fucking get all the kids, you know, like.
That's what it was.
Oh shit!
They pulled the Reavers halfway across the universe into their enemy.
They're a terrifying enemy, and there's a really good moment where in the film they've got a very what's the word?
Sexy.
Almost like, well, I know they're portrayed as that barbaric way of approaching stuff. They're not graceful at all.
No.
With one exception, and we're on about like weaponry, we're on about aggression, physicality, and stuff like that of the Reavers. They do have these rad laser beams. What I'm saying is, their lines, everything's sleek. A bit of a weird tangent, but I played once or twice this game called EVE Online, and you have like 4 different classes or races, whatever, and they have all like different ships, and some of them are really sleek, and some of them are a bit ravaged and weird, like not symmetrical. You have it always reminds me of this, the Republic fleet, or what they call Galactic.
They've got like a chaotic sort of.
Yeah, so the Reavers are really chaotic, and the Republic are not. They're really sleek. They're very straight, streamlined, and stuff like that. So, you know,
it's a classic design. I mean, you see it everywhere. You see it in like.
But they go one extra, I reckon, with the Reavers. And it's the fact that they're in space, of all things, they're using fucking ropes to swing them around like that.
Yeah,
which is something you'd see on the floor. You wouldn't see that in zero gravity. And that kind of stuff, again, it adds to the part of the Reavers and how terrifying they are.
Yes.
Do you remember in Firefly where they go on that ship and they find the person who's become a victim of the Reavers, and he is one himself?
Oh, yes, I do.
I actually thought that was in Serenity for a second. I didn't realise. And I was like, holy shit, again, Reavers, fucking quite a terrifying enemy. And it's like you said, well, you know, in the end, they're not going to die at that part. They're going to be like fucked over by the Reavers.
Yeah.
You know, and seeing where they're bottlenecking.
Yeah, I think you need the Reavers because I don't think Chiwetel Ejiofor is. I think he's an interesting villain, but I also think that he holds a little similarity to, I can't remember the guy's name, who's the last. He's in the very last episode of Firefly.
Oh, the bounty hunter.
The bounty hunter.
What a great episode.
It's a great episode, there's a lot of similarity between him and Chiwetel Ejiofor as characters. So I think having the Reavers there as a bigger sort of like physical threat is quite important. So that is Serenity. You can let us know in the comments below what you thought of Serenity. Or you can hit us up on Twitter as well. Next week, we'll be back once again with another episode of Film Club where we will be watching, and I am so excited for this,
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
So the new one's coming out.
Yeah, you got Blade Runner 2099 coming out very, very soon, so we cannot wait to go back to Blade Runner. Actually, we're doing it back to Ridley Scott like for the 3rd time.
Yeah, we like Ridley Scott.
I like Ridley Scott.
Yeah, it's. I remember I used to drive to uni, and our mate Duncan, he used to tell me about his love for 80s films that were specifically Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen this all the way throughout.
Oh, cool.
Very excited.
Yeah. So, you can join us next week for Blade Runner. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. See you then.
Ta.